Good morning, everybody. I'm Trevia Truck, and it is April 2nd today. It's a Thursday morning, and it's a really nice day outside. Really, just nice breeze, perfect temperature, and so I thought that I wouldn't waste the day by standing inside making a video. Today we're going to be talking about the movie The Lion King, and we're going to talk about going through all the different signs and connecting The Lion King to astrology and all those different signs at different scenes of the movie, at different areas, at different key areas, at different different vantage points. So that's what we're really going to focus on. I may introduce a couple planets, but we're not going to get into that part of it. So let's start out with the two most important signs of the whole movie for The Lion King: Leo and Libra. And I think that if you know the characteristics and traits, you know the signs really well, and you understand them very well, and you've seen The Lion King, and you can kind of point out those things that are very similar and also different, you know the story, then I think that these should be pretty obvious. So we're going to start out with going through the entire zodiac, but I want to start out with Leo and Libra first of all. Now, it's taking on some aspects of Leo, but it's really putting a more Libran focus on the whole movie. So we're going to first start out with the title of the first song, which is The Circle of Life. And this is very Libran, because if you think about it, well, technically, Aquarius is also present in this too, and so, and we're going to get into that a little bit later, but the circle of life. So it's focusing on everybody is equal, and everything is just, and creating peace and balance and harmony and beauty. We're focusing on just the prides and the animals as a whole. That is very Libra Aquarius. The Lion King, there's a lot of aspects of that are very Libra Aquarian. We're going to talk about that. But let's first start off with Leo. Well, for starters, the title of the movie, The Lion King, Leo, the zodiac sign, is represented by a lion. And I think that I would refer to Leo as being the cayenne pepper fire sign of the zodiac. Because some Leos are very charismatic, very wanting the attention, wanting the spotlight, really put on a production in the scene, are very social and talkative and funny and humorous and big, bold personalities, like my aunt was in Million Esposito. Others resemble more of the Gil Gobin type Leo, although I think that he's a Virgo. I really don't know his birthday. But I also want to talk about this. There's one Leo, which is my family member in Million Esposito, and then the other Leo is Harry Potter. So this sign is a really interesting one, because, when they say, I'm not your typical Leo, you're just a more shy Leo. So it's not very straightforward. It's not like the other signs. So Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio are kind of the ones that are just not straightforward. And not one personality for everybody. But everyone's their own individual, and it also depends a lot on the signs and their placements in the chart. But so Harry Potter, I would think he would be more a cusp between a Leo and a Cancer. But I think Cancer is more appropriate because they are very, very different from Leos. They're very shy and they're very introverted and wanted the people closest to them and favoring their alone time. They don't grab, they don't want that self attention on the spotlight. So everything is, and you can recognize the Leo if, and they have that magnetic quality where everybody in the room is just drawn. And Harry Potter was known to be a celebrity as the boy who lived. And so all the attention was put on him, and everyone knew him very well. And that's the thing with Leos. But he was a calm and shy. But Leos are very interesting because they're selfish, but they're also very generous and kind and think of the good of others combined with that selfishness. But Harry Potter is not considered a vain person at all. Well, he stands up and really cares and supports his friends. But he does have that shy exterior, which is really, really unusual. And it makes it, and that's very, very interesting because you might think that a Leo shouldn't be that way. Well, as I said. So that's the first thing, with the Leo represented by the lion, born under the sun. And the movie takes place in Africa. And so that's a very, very hot, it can be dry climate with all the different varieties of animals like zebras, elephants, you name it. And so with just all the scenery, you can see it. And so the sun shining high. And so I want to think of 4 signs coming together with the addition of Scorpio. So there was Leo, Libra, Aquarius, and Aries, if you put them together. And I'm going to talk about all of those 4 signs here. So we have Leo, and also the idea of wanting to be king, because king is a really, really big, like the most powerful, hierarching position. And so so it makes so much sense. So the Lion King, Leo, is the king, that status, that position. And so not wanting to be overruled and keep its status. And so this also goes for Scar as well. But the lions in this movie aren't really that vain. I would say, Mufasa, he wasn't that way. Maybe Scar was a little bit. But we'll get into more of the Scorpio side with him a little bit later. I hope that I remember. So now let's talk about Aries. That's the sign that we're in right now, from March 21st through April 19th. It's April 2nd right now. And what I said about Leo can, I think, most predominantly to be for August Leos. I don't know July Leos, but anyway, it's all the same. But so Aries, that is represented by the ram and the sunrise. Because if you think about the very start of the movie, and also the lyric from Beauty and the Beast, who Emma Thompson sang it, and she is an Aries born April 15th, as the sun will rise. And so that sun rising, really reviving and bringing everybody together, and really energizing and an awakening to the earth. That's what Aries. It's represented by the baby, the individual. But we see with this the Aries Libra polarity, and also the fighting and the impulsive aggression, violence with this as well. And wanting an adventure to that bad taboo land, and running free and being physical and all those things like a child is also Aries. But so we tie this into Aries Libra polarity. So the sun is rising, we're getting energized, but then we go right to Libra. So now we're going to talk about Libra. Libra is represented by the balancing scale, and it's all about, again, peace, equality, harmony, beauty, togetherness, relationship, balance. That's what Libra is about. And so the song "Circle of Life," like the soloist was saying, there's more to do than can ever be done. There's more to see than can ever be seen. That's Aries. That's Aries. Exploration. It could also be Sagittarius, because that's prominent in that movie as well. Sag and Aries are incredibly similar. But so, that's the Aries portion of it. And then the Libra portion of it is just going off the title of where all the animals, big and small, come together and they're all equal. It's all peaceful, it's all harmonic, where they're in a circle representing that they are one. We are one. That's a very Libran title for a song. I think that is. So that's the portion of Leo. No, Libra. So then we're going to talk about the next song in that movie, which is going to be called Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Because if we're talking about the zodiac signs as being times of the day, Libra represents the sunset. And so, Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet of love and relationship and communication and friendship and family. All of those things. And so, that's what Libra is really representing with the relationships in that movie as well. So that's just kind of the gist that I could find first of all from that movie. And so then again with Aquarius, with everyone loving all, thinking of really big scale things. So now we're going to talk about Scorpio. This is the obvious one because Scorpio is a sign that can be easily confused with Aries because it's so similar. And it's the weird one. It's the twisted and sinister sign. So it's basically stealing Aries and then putting it with water. And it's kind of a ucky-mucky, gross, weird, disgusting mix with Scorpio. So Scorpio is weirdly a water sign. It's the weird one. Most complex, misunderstood sign of the entire zodiac. And so Scar, basically, would be having that Scorpio energy of getting revenge on Mufasa, sending him to the death, and then taking over for being mad and getting jealous at him being the king, and then his son, Simba, being the king. So that's really real Scorpio. It's a very, very intense energy with that sign. And so it's, go to the ends of the earth to get what it wants. So it's very, very focused and very, very determined sign. Now that's the really big portions of on the Lion King. And if I will probably make another segment over the other signs and also other connections to what I was just talking about today in another clip. Thank you very much for listening.